Welcome to another episode of War Hero to Superhero, helping military veterans and first responders transform from war heroes to superheroes, thriving from the bedroom to the boardroom. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Faust. We are in the Superhero Battle Room as we are each month in the fourth week. And yes, it's our job to press buttons, but our goal is to go over and to uplift the military veterans and first responders that have transformed from war hero to superhero. And today I have a special guest that's done so much transformation, I can't even keep up with it. I read all his bio and everything on it. It's Dotan Baer, or DJ he goes by. He's done so many amazing things in the film and consulting industry. He has so many accolades. I couldn't even list them all. But our goal is not to go over and just list accolades, is to help him share his war hero to superhero transformation so you can start on that war hero to superhero transformation. So I'm going to bring him in, and he's just going to share the wisdom, and you just need to soak it on in. So Dotan Baer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Daniel. It's an honor to be on here. I'm looking at the questions to get them right, and it's great to be here with everybody. I guess war hero to superhero. That's an interesting way to put us. You don't feel that way when you start, and that's where we're going to talk about today is the start. And I started in the Army at 20 years old. I had already been in college, and I was watching the war unfold as I was playing Super Mario Brothers on my Nintendo 64 at the time. And you know, dun dun dun. I don't know if my generation remembers it, but there was this thing. It came on the TV every time. Dun dun dun. And then they were about to announce some gripping information. You're like, what is it? And like 100 hours later, it was over. And I was like, wow, that was so easy. So I enlisted. And I was like, okay, I'm Israeli. And I'm Middle Eastern, and I was born in Israel, and we're about to go to war there. And so this will be great. I'll join the Army, and people will be like, hey, you, Middle Eastern guy, what do you know? But none of that happened. And so I would say my lowest point was getting to the 1st Ranger Battalion and realizing that that's not how the military works. You're now an E3 enlisted schmuck that nobody even knows anything. They all, my last name was Baer, which happened to be adopted, so it was German, and I looked white, and so that was it. Like, oh, you're wearing German Baer, whatever guy over in 4th Squad on the M60 machine gun, right? So what is amazing is whatever you think at 20 is not at all what happens in anything you do. Doesn't matter whether you go to college, whether you take a job, whether you join the military. Your level of buyer remorse can be interesting, and you can only measure that with years of experience. And so I will say this, though, having served in the military, it's amazing today that everything about that service led to where I ended up later. Okay, so my lowest point was realizing, I'm not really that important to the military. We lost a 32-year colonel in the Rangers in a helicopter crash in Utah, and I watched how America treated a real war hero. That man was a real war hero, okay? And when he died, everybody's like, whatever. I'm like, whoa, hang on. Wait a minute. If this is how we respect and honor the men who serve in the military and who've done so much for all of us, he was the reason we all wanted to be in the Rangers. And I'm not going to butcher his name, but his last name is Staus, Stauss, Colonel Staus. And the way that I saw that was done, I just didn't feel right about that. So when I left the military, I guess my goal was to figure out why veterans were not honored and respected. And it was something that, of course, any generation of Vietnam veterans, our parents, all knew firsthand, and they had a direct relationship with. So I will say this, our generation got a lot of support coming out of the military because the Vietnam veterans and that whole generation was like, oh, you're in the military? Yeah. Nobody gives a shit? Yeah. Oh, we understand. And so there was a huge support group, and there were a lot of people who were like, okay, do this or do that. And they kind of direct you and guide you. And whether you went to the VA hospital or you went to school, there were people there along the way to lead you and direct you and guide you. And so what I loved and what you asked me was not when I transitioned, all that, how was it, hardest part, but what are we doing today? Okay. And today, I can put the phone down now. Today, what I can tell you is that the hardest thing I went through was not the military. The military was actually, as you look back, probably the easiest part of my life. My lowest point in my life was in the entertainment career when 2008 things started to spiral downwards for the whole world, right? And in 2010, everything shut down. And I'll tell you what, no one cares. No one cares when a clown is out of business, okay? The military carries you and takes care of you, and you have this whole network of people that are all there for you. And in business, none of that exists. And if everybody out there who says, oh, I'm going to make it in the entertainment industry. Well, I started in 1996. I got hired to play a Marine in an Aaron Spelling commercial, which is just funny because, you know, Army Rangers, Marines, you know, okay. We do nothing but fight, I know, but we love each other. And from that point forward, I learned that even the entertainment industry had very little regard for the military, as in, yeah, it's great you did that, but what can you do for us today? And I want to leave everybody who hears this with that message. What can you do today is what's important, okay? And what I can tell you is what you can do today is you can stop complaining to everybody else and start your own business. And we're here to help you. And that's what we're doing. We're teaching people step one. There's only 5 steps to getting a business set up. 5. Okay? Like, they're real easy. And it's a lemonade stand plan, we call it, to getting your business set up. And there's tons of people out there helping, teaching, coaching people to getting businesses set up. So we've always done that for free to help a veteran get a business set up. We've done that like 923 times now. And the reason we do that is if you can get a business set up, then I already have a business. That's why Daniel's spinning, that does federal procurement. I also have a business that puts military people into the entertainment industry. Now, in the entertainment industry, there's a ton of unions. Those unions could correlate with your military occupational specialty or not. It depends on what you did in the military or not. We are very acute at transitioning and helping people understand how their military occupational specialty would work in Hollywood, right? But it's very limited. Okay, there's so few military advisors. There's so people of us that are in what's called the Screen Actors Guild Union. It's very difficult to get in. It's expensive. And once you get in, you spend a ton of money marketing, advertising yourself for work. So that becomes a small business. And so what we ended up becoming was teachers and leaders of very small businesses in the most difficult industry to perform in. And so to spread that out and, you know, make it more tangible for the masses, we made small businesses in general business, because if you can convert an MOS to the entertainment industry, let me give you an example. You might be an electrician, or you might work in construction, or you might do a very specialized things like woodwork or lathing, or what you think is very unique and special, yes, but is ordered and used in productions all the time. Well, that's also a small business. So what we're doing is we're taking all those networks and assets and industries that we have, and we're utilizing them to teach veterans how to perform either in the entertainment industry. And since not everybody makes it into the entertainment industry or wants to, some people want to perform in regular business. So we've opened that up as well, Daniel. And what people can do is learn whether they qualify to be a small business. And you don't have to be a veteran to be a small business. I came on your show today to give you a pro tip, which is today we're going to give you a pro tip. I've learned people don't understand 8A. And so I'm here to teach 8A because, for one, I didn't qualify. Middle Eastern people don't qualify, which I didn't know that. But 8A is a set aside that many people think only applies to First Nation. It doesn't. It applies to Asians, African Americans, Hispanics, and First Nation. All 4 qualify. And you should look into 8A if you fit into that category. Let me explain to you why. I'm a prime federal government contractor, which means I subcontract out anything from ducks to nuclear warheads, as long as you can provide them and have the security clearance. So we know you don't have clearance for warheads. Let's stick to ducks. So let's say you can provide that. I look for subs that perform under those set-asides, 8A, WSB, WSB, EWSB, 8A, all fits into set-asides. And you can perform under one of those as a small business. So I will leave your audience with that. That is how we help others transform. As a superhero, I take a person who doesn't understand how they can run a business, and I teach them how to run a business. Okay? It's really easy for me to teach someone how to run a business. It doesn't mean it's easy for you to run one. Okay? Remember that.
That's really awesome. Yeah, because most of us don't even know the steps when we get out of the service on how to do that.
You know what? I'll tell you what. We're going to drop some $25,000 answers here in your show. Here is how to set up a business in any of the 50 United States and 4 territories that the United States owns. 1, as a veteran, your most valuable setup is sole proprietorship. I'm going to teach you that an LLC is what we make a movie with. So we set up an LLC because we know that movie is a one-time thing that we're going to run $5 or $10 million through that LLC, and then we're going to shut it down. And then we're going to sell that movie, and it's over. So don't set up an LLC unless you want it to be over. I don't know why people told you to do that. It's not true that you have no limited liability, that you have no, none of that is true. When you are a company owner, according to ownership, according to the Securities Exchange Commission, the owner is responsible for that company and needs to pay for everything that goes on with it. So stop setting up LLCs. They're not helping you. Set up a sole proprietorship as a veteran when you get out. Then the next thing you need when you set up or the first thing you need before you set up your sole proprietorship is a business name. And we call that branding. And you take it lightly. And then you go to make your business card and you go set up your logo and you look really silly. And you go, shoot, I wish I took my branding a little more serious. So that's all called discovery. So do your discovery and take your time to do your discovery. Get your brand set up. Get the name of your business. Get your DBA filed. Get your sole proprietorship up. Get your EIN number and your state done. So business name, DBA filed, EIN number. Now you're eligible to get your free Chase Veteran Business account. Okay. Now those will cost you very little. Okay. That'll cost you less than $200 in any state in the United States of America that I know of. The most expensive one is California. So that should cost you less than $200. A veteran, a Marine veteran's doing it right now in Arizona. He found it was $30 to file his DBA. And with those things filed in a business account, you have a business to start, okay? Now you're in business, and that's it. So it costs $200. So all veterans need to hear that. It costs you $200 to start a business. That is a startup. There's nothing wrong with running a startup. If you want to know what startup you should run, you should have a 30-minute conversation with a consultant like myself, which is free. Okay? And Daniel, that's what superheroes do. They don't charge businesses and startups to figure out what they should run. Okay? A veteran should not pay to figure out what business they should be in, right? Because if you pay $25,000 to figure out what business you should be in and you find out you shouldn't be in business, you're out 25 grand. Okay. If you start a business and you borrow $10,000 because somebody told you, hey, start a business, you need money, you should borrow money, and now you took out $10,000, what are you going to spend it on? You have no idea. Don't do any of that. For free. There's plenty of people, including myself. I just did a webinar that teach people the steps as to why and what they should do. And for free, you should be able to sit down, any veteran, for 30 minutes and figure out how your MOS translates into operating a business, okay? Now, I'll give a few people ideas, some superhero tactics. Here we go. All right. 1, if you were an electrician in the military and you ran all that wire and all those pieces and parts, remember, that means you know them, okay? And the federal government buys them and purchases them all the time, and so does the state. So you don't have to go out and work for $15 or $20 an hour as an electrician, or $40 or $50 an hour, but there is a prevailing wage for electricians in the federal system. And if you start a business as an electrician and you can manage them, I can put you out to perform as such on a contract, and then you can learn how you can even win that contract for your business yourself. Now you're performing as a veteran electrician on electrical contract for the government, and you're paying yourself to do it. Okay? You could do all three. All three of that is legal. We can teach you how. So that is one great thing. As an electrician, you're like, okay, I just got out and I know all this electrical stuff. What do I do? Start a business. Now, let's do another one, construction. Okay, you've worked construction your whole life. You know everything about mudding and drywall and joint compounds and the difference of the weights, and great. Get yourself a business, certified. If you don't want to work construction, you're like, I don't ever want to work construction in my life. Good. Be the supply chain to the multi-billion-dollar construction industry that can use your disabled veteran supply chain in a set-aside for that construction contract that you drive by every single day when you take your kids to school. Okay? Let's do one more industry. Construction, electrical, marketing. Okay, I know every veteran wants to be in the marketing industry. Good luck. Okay? You're trying to get into the hardest, most difficult industry in the world. All right? You got to prove to companies that you can take their products and make money with them. So let me say where it's much easier to perform in our industry, where we need you. Graphics designer. I don't know why all of you seem to be in the Navy, but okay. If you are a graphics designer and you're really great with graphics design, start a graphics design company and get subcontracted by a prime marketing advertising firm like mine to perform that specific field. It's okay to be a niche. It's great to be in a niche. If graphics design is your niche, there's a lot of work for you. No, you're not just handed a contract. You're teamed up with other people that a prime puts out to perform, and I might need 10 or 15 of you. So relax, be patient. You're part of the steps in the process, and I have to get 3 other people to finish the performance. Administration, all of you administration people, okay? You think, oh, I don't know what, there you go. Brian is one of them. Raise your hand, Daniel. There you go. Daniel's raising his hand. Okay, Daniel raised his hand. That's funny. Okay, I was going to say a Marine Brian that we have, but Daniel is one of them. Okay, good. Administration. And we desperately, business leaders, need to funnel administration tasks and administrative to companies that can perform, not individuals. You can't get hired as an individual. An individual is an employee nobody wants to do. A company is a contract, and there's a lot of contracts and performance today in administration that you wouldn't believe. You need a good mentor coach to show you how to get into those, but yeah, and you need a prime. And then the last one that I run into all the time for marketing and advertising is, it's not really SEO, it's CPC and managing that. Okay, if you can handle managing a website, yes, and setting up the user accounts for your state and city government, that's one thing, but they want you to perform the other end of it, which is the CPCs, cost per clicks, we call them, which whether it's Facebook, Google, it doesn't matter where you're running that marketing, they want to see that reporting. Now, yes, we have all the systems in place. As any marketing company will tell you, that's where the work is. The work is in managing that marketing, being able to run those ads, being able to create that ad copy, and running those ads and looking up those keywords and running that marketing is a huge subcontracting need. So there you go. For the last people, that's my marketing field. I'll say, if you are looking at where you want to get into the industry, our tactics are how you can take what you're doing now and turn those side hustles into dollars. Okay, if you can go out and influence and drop an Instagram post and get 20 you, then what you're missing is monetizing that. Okay, and learning to monetize that is learning how to be a business. And I'll leave you with that. Trying to think of one superhero tag. Okay, let me give you a link today for all the veterans that are in business, okay? All the veterans that are in business today that say, gee, you know what? Everybody tells me to get certified. Where do I get certified, Ranger Bear? Where's the first place? There's a first place you get certified. If you're not certified there, please don't tell people you're a veteran-owned business. It's just a waste of your time. vip.vetbiz.va.gov. Online, submit your application. It's free. Free. People love free. Free. It doesn't cost anything. to submit the application. When you go to submit it and you get stuck in the muck and the swamp and the whatever, and you're like overwhelmed and you're panicking, that's it. That's when you call us, okay? Don't panic. Call. That's what everybody's putting these webinars out for, is that there's all these veterans in business trying to perform that will help you get through those little hurdles. Once you're through those little hurdles, you're in, okay? And you all know what I'm talking about. Everybody watching this that's a veteran made it through 90 days can make it through what we're talking about. Yep, it can be fire and brimstone. It can be painful. It can be grueling. Get through it. We're here. All right, Daniel, what else you got?
That's just huge right there and then. And I have to attest to that because I've been trying to do that for the past 10 or 15 years until I got hooked up in my most recent contracts. And it's huge to understand those skills. It's like to do that. So anybody that's going over and listening to Dotan or DJ, you know, you got to just take this. This is like lots of money. This has taken me 15 years to learn these steps. I knew of these steps, but he just dropped it in a concise way. It's just like, so that was just, we don't need any more superhero tactics. You gave above and beyond superhero. I'm gonna have to create a new brand.
Well, you know, you can give them a weapon. Let's see how well they fire it. Okay. You know,
exactly. So let's talk more about your website before we close out. So how they can connect with you.
Okay. The website is a little misleading. It's a great website. So that is, now I'm going to teach everybody through my websites. I love to be, I guess this is where the superhero part comes in. So associatesgroup.com, if you go there, you will learn that is services. And as you go to build a business, the first thing you're going to learn is you didn't realize what a service or a good was. Because as a veteran, you had to do both. You were carrying all this crap on you as a good, and you were providing a service. Remember that, okay? Look at that chicken wing. Chicken wing out there. I got to bring that in. I'm getting old. Arthritis hurts. Ah, forget it. Put your young arms up. I'm done. Okay, so your website is the first time somebody lands on it, they're going to say, wait, what is this? What is this veteran talking about? Because the buyers think you're a joke. Okay, they think you're a joke. You can't even put a website together that offers your goods or services. Well, it was painful going through that, and I went through it myself. So I'm here to attest to the fact that I took forever to humble myself down and say, you know what? This is what we offer. So associatesgroup.com is all the public relations, marketing, advertising services, production services that we do. And when we go into the federal system, they don't want to see clowns and tents. So we have peacemakerswag.com. And I advise every one of you that if you have a professional job or a business or something, don't make your company your name. That way, when people search your company, they don't look up Daniel, you get it, who works at AT&T. Well, why does the guy work at AT&T, but he says he does webinars? No. Name your company. Just name your company. It's branding. Well, you know what? Here, last superhero tactic. Name your company. Brand yourself today. When you end this webinar and you close it and you're done listening to this, the first thing I want you to do is sit down and go, wait, what would I have called my company when I was 10 years old? And write that down. Okay? It was clever. It was creative. It was fun. It was not traumatic. It didn't have PTSD. Okay? Remember those days? Yeah. Go back to those days and name your company, you know, Faust Findings or something, right? Come up with something that people don't find you. Peacemaker Swag is not my name. They're never going to look for me. And when they go there, they're there to find goods. Okay? Know where you're driving your traffic. If you're driving your traffic for goods, let them land there and find your cookies. Gom's Worm Cookies. That's a shout out. I'm going to give a few plugs right now, okay? I'm proud of Gom's Worm Cookies because he is Gom's Worm Cookies, and that's all he is. Okay? If you go to Patriot Challenge Coins or the Challenge Coin Company, you'll find challenge coins there. Anchoredmemories.com. Right? When you go there, you find things that involve military swag. It's important when somebody lands on your website that it reflects what you do. So my website reflects us in the entertainment industry. Yep, associatesgroup.com. And if you want to link up with me, you can. But if you really want to link up with me in the federal buying, peacemakerswag.com. And for those who want consulting, of course, as Daniel will tell you, consulting is the high-level thing that is an invite only to people that you really don't let the public in because there's so few people that are going to benefit from it. And what I would suggest is you first attend one of our webinars on Facebook, or you join one of our Facebook groups, Vet Talks. We have a ton of information in there, and we've broken the information in Vet Talks down into categories. And so if you're starting up and you're like, look, I can't afford $10,000 for a consultant for 80 hours. Most veterans cannot. Crawl, walk, run. Get your business set up. Listen to this tape, record it, and play it as many times as you want. It's not going anywhere. And until you get your business set up with that bank account where you can put that expense, stop paying for things. Because all of that is business expense that you should have put under that account that you didn't set up because you didn't have a business name or brand yet. Find it. Find that first. Once you get that, call somebody, a consultant, say, am I doing goods or services? And let them put you through that. And that's what we do. We put businesses through boot camp. Okay? We let them go through it. We let them find what they need to do in their goods or services. And that's not available on my website. Does that make sense? Okay. When you go to a website, you see the end product. And that's the most important thing you're going to learn today is that when a buyer goes to your website, they should see your finished product. This is the work. This is us working together. This is veterans coming together to lift each other up, to do the work together. This is why we're here to teach. Okay. When you go to my website, you're seeing a finished product. Or you're going to go to the other website and you're going to buy products from me. Now, associatedgroup.com, anybody needs to put marketing and advertising together, right? They go to that website, they can find anything they can afford. Considering most advertising budgets start with $1 million, we had to make a user-friendlier website, right? Okay, it's kind of a great lesson for all of you that if you put a website up that is so expensive that the people on it are union and cost like, $25,000 per day, don't expect a lot of phone calls, right? And that's crucial, right? Like obviously our website, we create from it. Actually, we have a hidden development page you can't see on purpose. It's user and name and password protected. And when you go into our website, if you wanted to hire everybody on it, you could put them into a shopping cart and it will give you a production budget. As I said, it's anywhere from $1 to $12 million. So it's user name protected for a reason. It would be kind of silly. However, if people want to go on the website, okay, and you say, okay, well, that's ridiculous. So you put things on your website people can do, like the classes, or we have on their Cypher Studios. I'd like to give a huge plug to Shane Mitchell at CypherStudios.com. We found a veteran with a studio in Escondido, California. He has all the working parts that anybody would need to make it in the entertainment industry, right? And so when they come to us, they go, how do I make it? I'm like, well, too bad you didn't meet Shane and you met me first. Had you met Shane first, you'd have everything in place you need to make it. And by the time they got to us, they'd be ready to run in the industry, okay? So what do? We put Shane there for you for a reason. It's not to push you down or belittle you or say, we don't want to care about what your script is. It's because if you haven't taken certain steps, you don't want to open certain doors. You don't want to burn certain bridges before you're ready. I promise you. I have been in the entertainment industry for 25 years. Dotan Baer is a SAG union persona. It's a brand, right? So the reason people call me DJ is it's funny to call me by a SAG union persona. Hey, Dotan Baer, right? All right. So you get a working, right? You get a working relationship when you get with a consultant. People would feel kind of weird to call you by your company name. And literally, my company name is my brand in the entertainment industry. If you want to be in the entertainment industry, I hope you all just took a lesson right there. You all want to be in the entertainment industry. The lesson there was Dotan Baer was the brand that I didn't know that when I showed up. I learned it 15 years later after I dumped tons of money into that guy. Headshots, acting classes, workshops, student films, acting, more acting classes, networked with some veterans in 2003. We started a company, or he had already had a company in Marine called Combat Casting, got us out on set. Met another veteran, Marine, Matt Siglock, owned a company called Gunmetal Group. Met another veteran, Cougar Zank. He was working with this veteran called James Devers. If you all don't know James D. Devers, a.k.a. Sergeant Major Devers, you should. Okay, and so imagine when you're young and you're meeting these people and all you're doing is carrying bags to set. That's what we did. We carried stunt bags to set and brought the weapons out to set, and we dressed people in uniforms, and we put gear and equipment on people, and we dressed famous people so they could go out and look good on camera. That's the start. You got to hear that. I want you all to hear where the start is. Nobody wants to hear the start. The start was carrying bags and equipment for somebody else for 5 years, I think it was. Yeah, 2005 to 2010. And by 2010, we were the biggest working group in the entertainment industry. I stand by that to this day, and our records and the IMDb, of course, .com proves it. And of course, today, it's our time. Don't let my young looks fool you. Here, look. At 50, okay, it's our time to get up and be producers. And why are we taking it on? We're taking on that responsibility because we want you all to have that same opportunities that we have in the industry, okay? And we want you to take that opportunity in the industry, and we're offering it to you. We have it all sitting there. So in order for you, veteran person who just got out of the military and doesn't want to go home and deal with mom and dad and family and going back, whatever, to school, and you're ready to take that next step and you want to push yourself forward and you want to, hey, if you want to take your chance at the industry has changed and it's where you are today. You just need to step up and take that chance. And yeah, there's a ton of people now to welcome you in, to foster you, to make sure you make it and get to where you need to be and be a working asset in the entertainment industry. So I will say this, that luckily to all of you, Daniel invited us in here as a business entity, but I will offer anybody that hears this, sure, the opportunity to be screened and considered for the entertainment industry. They used to call it talent scouting, and you used to pay $350 on a weekend to go meet with Barbizon models or something, okay? And we all went through that to meet with our agents, Stellar Model and Talent Agency in Miami, Florida, hi, and Ed Arenas, who cast me my first job as that Marine for Aaron Spelling, is still today people we know. So you could get your break the same way without the Barbizon, of course. You reach out through the internet. My Marine's name is Cougar Zank. Zank meets Cougar Zank. Everybody, he's also, Cougar Zank is another SAG persona, and he too has a real name. But I'm going to use his SAG name for now, Cougar Zank, and there's a reason for it. That persona means something in our industry, and if you want to be a brand or you want to fall under a brand in the entertainment industry, you first have to find one that brings you in. So yes, our brand is helping to get veterans set up in the industry because we understand the value of that. And no, not anybody's going to get in or make it. It's not an easy road. It's a long, hard road. And as I was told when I first started, if you can do anything else, do it. Because this is not the easy road, right? Okay? This is hard. Now, and while you're going after the entertainment industry, let me say this. What you can do is run a veteran small business. And that will teach you how to run a small business, which you would need to succeed in the entertainment industry anyway. There you go, Daniel. I will say that is our big plug for the veterans today. If they want to make it in Hollywood, and a lot of people do, they can have their run at it. And while they're having their run at the entertainment industry, today it's all gone online. You can do digital submissions, right? Okay. They can also learn how to run a real business so that when their family goes, oh, really? What are you going to do with your life? They have an answer.
Fantastic wisdom that you passed on. So thank you for going over and joining me, DJ, and thank you for all that's watching through Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and even on Periscope. I never thought I'd be on Periscope, but anyway, I want to thank you all for joining. If you want to take DJ and bring him up to the next level to our TV show, which is going to be rebranding on Simul TV starting in January, and also Guiding Star Veteran TV Network, all you have to do is go over and actually watch for 3 seconds. Now, Dante's wisdom should be watched 10 times over. I mean, I'm going to have to rewatch it and say, what was that link? What did he say? What did he say? But if you say only have 3 seconds of time, that's how the Facebook algorithm works, is 3 seconds. So you give 3 seconds in the next 3 days, and if DJ gets the most views, then he gets uplifted to the television show. So any last parting shots, DJ, before we close out?
Sorry. No, I'm good. I was doing the 1, 2, 3. 1. Come on, guys. 2, 3. That's it. We made it. We're a show.
Awesome. So
Thanks,
again,
Daniel.
thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to being back on here again. I appreciate you having me on. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry. It's cutting it out. I really appreciate it, Daniel. Thanks for having me on your show. And thank you all for tuning in.
All right. Well, thank you all, and see you another episode tomorrow. War Heroes.